dot mi uli naam tha nizan ti nizan kan rak chim chang ban tu khan Rungtlang Authawng kha zat khata voithum kan rak aw lai kan ti ban tu ne tu he kan ma America Standard Time chun Eastern Time kan tela jute pret le cheu se tu he screen chung ne ban kan mu mi vial he tu zana Rungtlang Authawng a chan kan rak mang lai ti mi te ha ban chim ka du na anin mu ban lo mi te mui tampin chuang lai ka hen kan tu aton ban tu ke na man sabika thaitan na kan bani tu an halai te tu cho kan naw nu hi ka hen sui kha ka win som ta lai ama ni kan thaitan na kan bani tu ta lai kan de lom
si kay makabin hi swilin song tin out si mi nga sa sweetin na kan out ko atukum na kwa hi Vancouver Canada umyomi kasi kalon
se kan lom tok sui chong kan lom tok sui he tu zana hen second telai tlai non pia khan ka chot ne tu zana tu special guest kan som mi tu thaitan a veni tu ading kan naw nu he kachin se ani he second telai ko hol jong thiam sa sai lu mis kan mara hol ding sa khan ma kha hol let tu ding cha sui kha ka veni som mi sina ka chawlan cha sui kan ka lom tuk ti mi kha chim ka du chung kan ma chim diam hun jong chong kan lom ti mi te kan chim ka du chana tu next som ka bendu mi cho hi kai kan funu kan som hi amina jan tia kan awi ama kha intro cha kan som talai jan tami le tami ga blo le so ro tami ye na me pin tami ba mani le tami ba lo le so ra tami intro lo twa ma phit pare tami o phek
Okay ba mingla ba chama name ga janjan ko ba de shin chama ga Northern Virginia DC na ma ne deနောက်ပြီးမှဒီ kitchen လူမျိုးကဖြစ်ပါတယ်ရှင် and United States မှာလည်းကြီးလာတဲ့အတွက်ဗမာစကားအသိမပြောတတ်ဘူးเนาะအဲ့ဒါအတွက်အဲ့ဒါကြောင့်ဗမာစကားမှားရင်လည်းခွင့်လို့ပါကျေးဇူးပြု၍ so English လည်းနည်းနည်းပြောမယ်เนาะ so the USACM အဖွဲ့နဲ့advocacy လုပ်နေတဲ့ USACM က US Advocacy Coalition for Myanmar လို့ဖြစ်ပါတယ် and with this group like ကျမနဲ့သူငယ်ချင်းတွေအားလုံးက Burma Bill ရဲ့အတွက် advocacy လုပ်နေတယ် Burma Bill က Burma Act of 2021 လဲခေါ်ပါတယ်ဒီ Burma Bill နဲ့ပတ်သက်ပြီးတော့အချက် or 3 byte ရှိတယ်the very most important အရေးကြီးဆုံး3 byte ရှိတယ်ပထမကဒီ Burma Bill မှာဒီ Burma Bill အထက်မှာရှိတယ် sanctions language ရှိတယ် and the sanctions ကဒီ Myanmar oil and gas enterprises ကို sanctions လုပ်ဖို့အတွက်ပြင်ဆင်ထားပါတယ်ဒုတိယက second is $220 million in humanitarian aid. So
I mean, again, so just intro yourself.
Oh, okay.
Now,ပြန်ခေါ်လိုက်မယ်တိလားအဲ့တေချာဟို question နဲ့မေးလိုက်မယ်တိလေတမီနော်
okay
အဲ့လိုလုပ်သွားမယ်ပြင်အတူကျော်ပထမနာခအငွန်းတေခါscreen shot ကဘန်မူလာအငွန်းကန်ဖနိုမလေးရှာင်ထိုက်တနာဘယ်နဲ့တော့တာဆက်at lao ma chan avin lao te kan naw nu te kha
siangun kha ti kat avan lau mang man dau lau man ra than kat te man lang ta lai mo e man ra
okay angun thai tan na kha ta fa bani to ta mo ne min len nak chon siang na kai ma kai lo ti ban tu kha thai tan na bani to ta
Kema kami sunod timpa kasi dot natin angun ti akan atu hi Malaysia liaw mi kasi siang ka liaw mi kasi
azai
Thailand
si angun chong kan lom tuk lom nak ben chi mangun mo chen nu len pa si no khan kan lom tuk ten kan chim pyak te lai mo e tu zan os na ha sak ni kan ngai tuk ma le le nen ke chi me angun he lar tuk mi si tian ke ti makha tu zana la sak ding kan ngai tok ti mi te kha ben chim ta ka du mi se e tu cho hi ka hin kan ma kan chimin kan upa hi kan deni ne thai ta na ben tu than ta lai
lom nak tampi kan ngai Rungtlang Authawng chungram leng in kan ngai tu ulanau hoilkom nan di lak chunga kan om chukho chun CDF-Hakha supporting team of North America thazang cho tu kan hoilen an di lak chunga lungom nak tampi kan ngai kamin hi Jenny boy big thong ti ka si ka famin hi orchid ni thaboy an ti orchid pa ya kan au atu liwa Hakha CDF support nak hading cha dear cup nak hading cha North America Canada le USA team ashui tu kasi timi te kha toy na kan ban ithai tar ka du tampi kalom
second lom atu cho amasabika zegen tala akan zau tu zong live akan zau tu zong kha tu khanen tampa ngai chun tu zani zegen tala live kan tham hill channel pathuma kan tha CCN se chun kan ma kan page se chun YouTube wa zong se kan thai ma khan huwa zau than kho lamang ding stay lai te mi te zong kala thong than bindu thong than bindu ta mi se e tu cho kan fanuangun kha sa pani talin kan tim piak tia ka fiale amasabika ama la kha tung khani kan ben ngai ta na lai angun kha kan ben som
Mấy chàng nhìn nào lại rồi
mấy con nào đâu
hello cô ơi thấy không à
kan thai kho
Sedangkan mulai jogetku cepat sedih kecuali tidak Jangan siapa dan yang mengikut tahu negatif jangan lại lagi dan kau tak cerita Kemau indah siapa dan She'll be a night love and a Senang lupa tak sedar Ni jangan menglai lagi Dan kau tak terdengar Kemau indah siapa dan
Bakse tu zani na kan hu mi na hi America kan Canada kan Malaysia kan son Chin mi kan ke Chin mi kan tlinga ngai tu zani kan screen he bi ti na ti mi te ha chim ka du tu cho as sui khade lai ho le ka win hol lai chun nang mani khan merang cha khai win kle ta la merang holin ma chun question pani ka hal ta lai ka hal ding cho bi hal nak pani ka kom lai sui mo pakhan nak hal ding cho Burma bill tim hi zaida si timi te kha nakahal piak lai chun ma Burma bill chunga ja zaitan ha de atel zaibantuk khida atel ab pi de mi tampi lai cha khan te kan ma ko rammi ne kan chanham pi ding khe kan ma po ne kan hu ding kan chanham pi ding hi zaida si chunga hin ta zaida atel timi te kha na win ka hal piak lai kalom
So Jan, I'll just translate what he just said. So he just wanted to ask you a question. Can you tell us short to the point or the main points of what Burma Bill is and what is it that it entails and how is this going to be beneficial to the people back in Myanmar? Thank you.
And
also, could you tell us what's included inside the Burma's bill? Thank you.
Sure. So ayan ayechire tongpai ka Burma bill sanctions lobo twa incentare language sheet and then nopima the Burma bill ga humanitarian aid twa refugee na IDP yeah twa besan payment humanitarian aid sheet and then it's like $220 million in humanitarian aid and then Tatiaga the civil society organizations will support local $50 million in aid leshide. So yeah, that's pretty much like the main points, and it's overall very strong and comprehensive bill to help what's happening on the ground right now.
Thank you very much.
220 million timi la 250 million timi here voi khat salong ma si silo la kum tin te pak ding ma si tia win khal ta ta sui.
So was the $220 million and also the $50 million that you mentioned, would this be a one-time thing, or do you think it would be the continuous help that we will be receiving from the government or from the bill?
Yes, it would be money that is given, like if passed, the bill would be able to authorize the $50 million and $220 million over 5 years for the next 5 consecutive years. So it would be every single year for the next 5 years.
So at Chimdumiju, $220 million left, $50 million ka voi kat back lawin kan kumnga chunga kanti trom te nan back la kan tele chu khavial te kha.
atu nin thai me tu lai mi phaisa kan khot mi he te he te koslo kan ramcha kan tan mi he kum khata kan million pakhan man bahar ngai se te atu bantukin America chauza pi ne hi bill he akan der kam me taina kan hu chan tam ngai ding phaisa site mi te kha zo tu vial te zon kha tharin tu zana bun fian hau te mi te kha bun chim ka du mi se mati se chun suite ka bun hal du tha me chu jen kha mati se atu hi ma Burma bill until amang mi he zai bantuk dir mun at phak mo chauza ni hen an pom khola ma pom kholo zai bantuk dir mun da phak chang te mi te kha bun ka pyak lai.
So the next question, Jan, for you is, in terms of Burma bill, do you think it has been passed already, or do you think what is the stages that this bill is at, basically?
Burma bill got passed my pit there with the friends, you know, like alone US ACM apwega alone yantun nere the bill pass and also another thing I should mention is the sanctions part of the bill is very important because it's sanctions against Myanmar oil and gas enterprise, and as we all know, the Myanmar oil and gas enterprise is the largest source of revenue right now for the military, so it's very important for that reason. And so bill got Akuga, it's just kind of slow because we still need Republican support for it.
Kavan itat khau tamo siang kavan hal ge ta lai maka sanction atitika khan maka me pi funding khan sui namne ban ka hal pyak te lote sanction long atu asikhan chon korami sanction long atu khan chon atu korami ral ka pol chu marum mangai long ten sitika khan sanction atu chon me pi long khan na cha atu sanction atimi he koram pi hopin mo sanction an to mi si chon targeted sanction da se ti mi te kha zang fanak ten bun ka hal pyak ta lo.
Okay, and just to kind of like add to your the sanction that you mentioned just now, so Danny just wanted to know, in terms of sanction that you stated just now, is it going to be impacting the entire population of Myanmar, or do you think it would be targeted sanction towards, say, specific industry or specific individual? Because as you know, a lot of these, junta leaders are very powerful and they have a lot of influences. So we just wanted to know, what type of sanction are you talking about here?
Hoge sanctions rega tough targeted sanctions be pit badishin. It's not really comprehensive overall sanctions for the entire country. It's not a blanket sanction. It's only sanctions against the Myanmar oil and gas enterprise, which is the main entity that deals a lot with like the oil money. So like Yenan companies.
So atunay sanction atimi ka mi pidi lakti kanram dilak sanction to aslawinkin a target to me to oil and gas industry maka Myanmar oil and gas industry ka sila iti I sabnan dumyum kan chun boy nang masong na kanak saplo
kanilom kavial kavan sri ko sa
direct kan ka bun hal chang lai te hol lenin kha ka bun thlen deu lai atue achang tu ka bun hal ka du mi cha tu na ya khan Republican lay in Senate Republican lay kap khan spot tu tom deu ti ati atu Democratic lay ta menung pe za thong le hin da an dir pin ha ti mi te kha thai ka du.
Just to touch base with what you just said again, Jan, the next question is, you mentioned how Republican or the senators from Republicans, they have to support this bill in order to be passed. Do you know the percentage or the number of Democrats, that are supporting this bill?
Right. So Akuga Senator Along Abe needed Senator Democrat So that's all of them altogether is about 17 or 18 co-sponsors so far, and that's all the people that we were able to gather as a result of our advocacy. So we're really trying to see if we can get both sides on this bill. It needs to be bipartisan. So so yeah, that's also the kind of issue that we have. And Senator McConnell, specifically from Kentucky, is the person that we are really trying to sway right now at this time so that he can really support this bill because he's the key Republican senator from the Republican side.
Bill pi wen ser ko nak dia chen Republican lai menung pe zeda a her vilai timiti ta na kan chim ko lama.
In order, Jen, just to continue with the question again, in order to pass this bill, do you know how many number of Republicans senator would need to sign this bill or support the bill?
I don't think it's really in terms of numbers. It's more like just getting a good amount of Republicans to, you know, sort of balance out with the Democrats. And as long as there's consensus between both, then they can push it forward to, you know, debate on it more and then eventually pass it as law.
Oh, okay. This is here to outload dole attend do ti ban dukin umiti mai atang pol ni kan chon Democrats pol ni kan chon atam deu ni chon an dear kap chang mi asi chang tika khan Republican atam deu melung pai za ti theng kha umri lo atam deu bak ni khan a Republican senator pol ni khan aman dear kam e chon khi kai senate e attend lo do e bia an van ru tika khan an ma lei Republican pol ni an dear kam deu pau a si khan chon ma bil hi lowa chan kho na hading cha ti alam atam deu ti kha van chimdu mi siko Democrats pol ni khan cha atam deu ni an dear kam chang atui an ma pol li an ban to cho ma mi hi Republican state pol li Republican senator pol li bom deu na se ti mi kha headset ti an ma group ni hin pakhat nu pakhat advocate and to e bi an ro cho ma diu na se
Lai mi he zegan tala Republican at hondak se hen kan ngai nai Texas a hen tampi kan chon Indianapolis kan si chun dang state zo hen Republican he lai min hen kan tet ngai mi se lai min han hen ta zeital kan tu kho mi ma timiti kha wen khal pek khong ma.
So basically the next question is, a majority of our Chin people that reside in United States of America, we tend to support the Republican parties. For example, most Chin community that reside in Texas as well as the state of Indiana, they tend to be the red state. So what would you recommend or what would you suggest that our people can do to kind of like make an impact in this?
Absolutely. So from the USACM, our team actually hosts trainings every single week, bi-weekly trainings actually. So you have 2 chances every Sunday night and Tuesday night to come on a Zoom and call and and just learn with us, train with us. So Burma Bilyat Belomyo Senator office needed doine belo shimpia me belo dunbo zagapyo melo agono tin yulo yare every week. So you can check out USACM on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter pages to find more information about that.
Baka uboy namin na let makay call ho katiyam la wait.
Okay, wait. When bet ta.
Kaban tuki kan ma ye Republican nak lai mi ta chun na Florida, North Carolina, Texas sai te ban tuka hin lai mi tampi kan ima pol ka Republican senator ngai mi pol kan city ka khan an ma ni zai tin da Republican senator pol ka bia kan ro na lai chun hi bill a pass kho na hading cha hin zai tin da bia kan ro na lai ti ban tuka zer khata nin hi peng hi an ma poli training and pack chun training and pack ye chu training ka Jen, what's the page again?
USACM.
USACM tikasi USACM kan zer khata voin hi an ma pol ni hin zaitinda anma senator zung ha Peknak na kan ngai kho lai anma he bia kan iro kho lai bia kan iro tika zai banduk da kan chimlai ti mi kha anma ni thatin training an pek na chu cha chun minung kan tlom kan tam ti ni nak cha in khan kan ma kan stay i ummi senator pol kha chot bia kho nak lam kha anma ni kan kol pek lai atu zong an kol chu ma change state tam non te a hi thil hi an galpi chu ma liu city mi te kha ban chim du mi se tampi kalom.
Yes, and I would also like to mention that if it's too hard for people to come on the calls, they can always just look at any of our infographics on social media and immediately just call the senators' offices to show their support for the Burma bill and ask the senator to co-sponsor it.
Susui ma te kha vin le pek ta
atunai jan achimi chu kamituk Burma bill lai thai kan du khan chun atu an page songa hin kan khalko silole kama pum pak che zongni kan senator kha cha kan kwat khon ha mo mentuk Burma bill lai akin participate in to deu nak ha physical
na lom tuk kan lak te tong pal te din na kha ka vin pek ta na lai tong pal pe lai no kan vadal cha kan te to mi jen khana le break pe me that the cha season le di ma the tu an ne ska pyo me no di dai me be any time be ba lo no te ma cha bu no kan lom tuk kan vin hal than te lai tong pal te bi hal na vin pe tu ka chun te re chim tu cha kan vin an vin ba de sol la tu kan pay cha na tang lai te han rian tun na kan ma kan rian tun na ka tel ve du mi cha khan Hakha CDF Sporting Group kan sitia Hakha selo mi kan kan ta selo ti pun in ro asol lai lang khulapi chu Hakha se zapi thai se chimlam mang haulo thajang tam pi haw mi se tu Hakha kwa ven nak dinga tam pi phaisa thajang help mi cha khan Hakha peng selo mi vial ti zong lai mi vial ti ne ar kan tel pi ramo ti mi kha tha je kan tela nol nak ven tu athan du chuni kan bom na kan du achun tu kan face book page kan tar chun je kan tela Zelle Peknak kwat khona phone number kan ven tele 704 794 7628 ti mi a hen phaisa ron bank ko city mi te kan lak jong ven then ke du mi se kan lak ti khan ka hen kan chairman pa kha bichim nak toy ka vin pek ta la ma share mi te kha vin chim nak chan sri la
Usiang tampilom na kangai chun susui se angun se jen anan chunga tampilom na kan ngai atulio kambo rokhe thu so le nangam non in vun okha kan thatlo cha khan kan ma le sining chiu te in kan nak ram kan nak mun kan sining chiu van ital a hek liu chan kha se chu cha chun atu kong happy line toy te van chim gdu mi chu tu kum hoin ha chu kan rambo ruak ronga ki ram tanga azami khutaleya azami chun mizoram tianga azami kan mi phun hoi tam pin chun atui do thlen na kan to mi kong happy tlai in hin kan ma Hakha than tlang long silo in koram pumpuluk lai tlang pumpuluk harsat na kan tong in lungre thai na kan ton chu ma liu si ma cha Hakha khulpi zong atua hin Christmas haitiban tukha biak na tu lo in satha in mi ibut loading in khan thong than kha si chu kan ni chu nol ngai mi kan siban tukin kan pastor te ni akan chip min ha zong khan hin ni tiang chu ngai anitim asina te na tu hin ram tangi ummi kan nawlen ha pol hi ni zan ti ni thong pang ka thai mi labang ha chu atua hin afachang na chu an ngai ko na te in an mi tho big blessing le zani aninol peng mi hi peleng api peng asi ti se adang lei zong khi van cho ok zong kha loi adang lei zong kha za pi cha chum van tu ok zong kha van tha lo athabik mi chu cho ti ban tu an tha unfair na ti ban tu an tha unfair he ti ban tu te ani che thiam asi khan chon chan tam deu kha ki angu na chon mun khada azaza he ti ban tu in Hakha kan ma Hakha CDF chunga hen battalion pali kan ume chu battalion a chon santhang pengan chon zauko pengan mi e pengan chon Hakha kuchungan asina tin khan battalion pakhat ka mun khadam hun ma an la lo atlom te khan an ma ral kap thrui tu na ne an che nak muna khan an tika khan atu Christmas kan tu lai tika hin jang fak tu kan simi chu aki lio si muka chunga zaitluk in puan he itom zonga khan akik thau thau chun mai kan kaula kan ti si zonga kan ral ni kan mulai tia mai ka zong an kaw kholo chun rol lum te kan ai penglai ti ok song kha thalo chuti chun ni chana lungre thainga inan cha hin battalion pakhat ahin chu ta chun naga battalion 1 cha battalion 2 cha battalion 3 battalion 4 cha cho vok kati kho tokte vok asikhan chon dola se thum cho sakan chon dola se sri siale na haite ban to sakan chon dola zariat ban to in hi battalion cha hi kan ral kam na cha katal ve ko lai tia pum ape khomi kut asap khomi nen asisia chon lunglom te in kan ni chaul han ha kan ni don ha tha lang zong kan ni pek na ti mi te khawan chim gu do atu liu hoina chon kan fal hoina do chio mi fanu fa pan han si nai te kan naw nu ni interview kan to liu achimi kan lung re ka ngai chiangai mi cho ha kha khusik laka asitika anma in lo ban tuk in an thu an dir khoti lo e ani khol tol chan mana hin lucian thu ok man hian ngai lo chu cha chun lucian te man ke atui lucian alha si kan rakti ton mi te man ke an ni cha man ar ngai to makhapum pak in kuchunga kawalut lai ka cho ta lai ti ban tuk ok song kha thalo chu cha chun khuwa kan khan lai kan rel piang na tika mo cha asi zonga panhet asi zonga honger asi zonga angkilum asi zonga abu bu te te in kan to piak a hau tika khan nehin ni chana nan ma chung khat nak ta chun naga kulhun an sia se chokho chon zau khu peng le an sia sin ha se chun hakha khuthar sin ha se chun dor thar sin ha se ti ban tukin nan u nan naw an nak mun chiu te ya khan vok te hi ka tal ve lai chon nehin ni chana chu Christmas happy tlai in lak song te angkileng song ka chok piak vin ha lai ti ban tukin kan ti kho asisia chun achan lio te ital vin house ti mi te zong kha nihin ni chana van chim gudu chun ka van chim lak lo lio te van chim gudu mi cho hi CDF-Hakha dir kam nak hading cha hin ki kan rak thok ka te in April May June July in arak ithok lang mang arak thok lang mang arak kal lang mang il chu thok an nihin ni tiang fel te in tha jang achu mi kan hoile tampian ban tukin nihin ni chana hoi ni athong in an chu liwa kan ni a thai ta lo ban tuk te in phang khat tak man achu ve lo mi jong kha tampi kan rakom nihin ni chana hakha khuchunga hin minung thong somli luklak kan ome chu thong somli luklak chunga chon apeng tlang kip kan cho sen thang zon mi e zon chu kho chon zau kho peng zon zau phei zon zau tung zon falam zon ta dim zon khulupi asiban tuk mi phun cho chuban tukin in tung der in khuwa kan saknak cha hen nihin ni chana ramlenga umitam pi kan cha khan chu in tung kan der na kan sian kai na kan thut kan dir na kan khulupi ven na hading cha hen nihin ni chana kut sam kho rak izom veu ti mi te jong kha hi kamuna van som chi kan du mina se chulha ni tha jang achu tu khri fa bu in chung khar pum pak nan di lak chunga lunglom nak tam pi kan ngai acheu kha chu voi khat man tha jang kan chori lo kut kan som ri lo liwa khan acheu kha toina chu voi nga voi ruk anol i nani nol tik zonga pum pak nan thopi na small business owner ti ban tu kan halmin ha jong khanan ume lungtho ten voi nga voi ruk jong akan thop yak tun ha jong nan nai te hoina chun from vun khwami pi par sung te ni dola thong ni arakan hlut chu kan ma jong ni kan pe tlai na lo an ma lung tho te in CDF-Hakha cha kan pe lai ti an te chulhana an u le chung khar na ni pum pak chung khar bak ni dola thong nga arakan pek bal chang ni hin ni chana hi kam hun i tha jang chua in nakan pek mi thil vial te na hi pia khat man tlot lo te in nan bob mi na CDF-Hakha cha aphandi ti mi te kha hi kam hun ban chim gudu kan ma jong ni hin hi kam hun a kan ma du ning bom silo in grong i amun ma i mi kan ral kap na an chol chak ning zo in chuti chun kan her chuti chun kan bomu antining ten hi kam hun a hin tha jang chua in kan bob na i cholong chu siri lo in ni hin ni chana a state keep a local committee upa kan ngai na ye kan ni pek na kan thailo chon tha jang chu na kan thailo tia nan sual asisia chon kan Facebook page asise forma zaitik champoa contact to ko kan city mi te zong kha sanon ten chan ka van laki ka van chimdu mi si tampi kalom
se kan lom tling ngai ngi tin nben kan than pege pusha me kan lom te mi ka van chim ka du tu zane kan naunu kan chen kan sommi he asulam he tampi me pachen don da kan America lai mi tampi kan phan hai to na bun chim ban to khan atui kan mani kan ram cha kan to khom mi he tlom te long se atui Burma bill te mi he Burma act mo ava pass ko je kan te lai ma vil te bom na million zani kum tinte kum nga tiang abom nak salai tia cha khan karak rele azai song khan bom nak tam pi kan muding si alai chain hi bom nak ki ahar mi har san nak atong mi atu ban tum than tlang ko me kang men tu hit ban tok usa pek don chawzan hem bom ne tim mi se khaban to kaste kan hi kan ni ne kan to kho mi se kan dak chiwa te kan uk tu na tu ban tung senator ha sin ne baton theng loin cha ku tin je kan te petition chan te makha ma her kan to pyawar kan bomo ke ka du ve te ban to kha cha tu en hal kho se fungnon chon kho si ma cha kan dai thang lo ten America mi vial te chu kan tang hala ti mi te kar laga win infor ta vi ha ka du mi se kalom atu cho bihal na kha ka win pe thani lai te suite na win ka hal pya ding cho atu hita jen kha nang ma dir munin ma Burma bill he as kholai ti na ruat ma har tuk lai ti ma na ruwa mo as khau ko lai ti zum na na ngai ma ti mi te win ka hal pya.
Hi, Jen. So we're just going to continue with the Q&A. So just to kind of like continue with the conversation of Burma bill, do you think, in your opinion, do you think this will be passed? Or do you think it will be possible for this to come into fruition? What do you think?
Yes, I think it's absolutely possible to get it passed. We just really need like the pushing from the constituents and everyone on board to really advocate for it, because unless there is political will, then it's not going to get done.
Me too. Kazum nakinti Burma bill he pass asi kokolai abepi mi chu kan ma constituent mu kan ma kan nak chiu tuin kan chawza kha kan senator poka push kan to dion ha kan chun hi bill hi atling shim kolai ti mi kha ani ni chun azum
se kan lom chun win hal chap ding win hal chap ka du mi cho mati sia chun ta na win ti lai te atu hi senator Paul long khen chai ri ma kong he anu ata ma adia hin ta house hin mo akal ti lai ma an ma ne chai mi del hin ma di te lai ti mi te na win khal pya kholama.
Hi, Jen. So just to continue with the discussion of Burma bill. So right now, this bill is mainly discussed in the Senate, right? So do you think that it will, once the discussion is done in the Senate, do you think this will be pushed to the House?
Great question. Okay, so the thing with the Burma bill is that it actually is on the House side already, the same way it is on the Senate. And it looks like it even has a bigger chance of passing in the House sooner than it does in the Senate. So it's just a matter of really pushing senators at this point, because we don't really need to worry much about the House. It's looking like it'll pass eventually from the House side. We just really need to keep pushing senators.
Avanti mi chute House lain chun passing hi to bill hi passing in a foi deu ti sinabal tin zai da heard that me the chun Senator Paul convince moves Senate leki passing akin chun me pi ni kin kan tuan deu how kan push deu na how kan Senator Paul hi tinate
the house like kha ngai la tuklo tina kha site majority kha democratic sikau cha khan tunai kan comment te khan ka hoi mara hol la o la hol ti ben tung tha kha chi minute ma kha mara hol le ni ton cha se mara hol le chi mi kha la hol te kan le pya kon ha kan le ko ti mi kha tha den zau lo cha si ti mi te ka la ka ben ten ka du mi se mara hol long te man kan du lo cha khan kan naw nu kan si sui Canada bak ne ben kan le pya mi se Canada mara hol ya do de ro ai sui US kan mara hol nang pan den te do to kan le pya ti mi kha ben sim ka du จนอางุนจองเข้ามาเลี้ยวไม่มาเขาเทียมไงมีสิทธิ์มีจองเขาเป็นชิมกันดูอางุนกันฝันดูจองมาเขาเทียมตักมีเสียมาพาจองข้ามมาเลยจะนั่งกันสักแปลกเท่าไรเจ้มาพาสักมีจองเขากันไงเขาที่มีจองเขากันแล้วเขาเป็นชิมกันดูมีเสียกันเดล้อมกันเสียกับวินฮัลริโก้ไหลเต้เกไม่ได้ขั้นปกติวินฮัลสับกับวินดูรีมีจอตุนายขลายมีเรื่องอะไรตุยบอร์มาบิลให้ปีไลน์ไลน์มีเจตุกนักเนตัลโควิไลน์ที่มีของเขากับวินฮัลเลยตุยพักเตวินฮัลก็ดูมีจุดเจนขัดเตเจตุกันดา CDF โจลจังนักข้าก็ไทยแล้วตุบันทุก CDF ตุไลน์โครามาคัน PDF กันเตไลน์ตั้ง CDF กันเตฮีกันไม่น่าหาโจลจังนักไม่น่าอุตเตนัวตั้งวัลเตหาโจลจังนักฮิตตานังมันเจตินแค่นั้นหูหายนรู้อันหาที่มีตีค่ะนึกกันหาจากตาลาย
Hi, Jed. So now we're just going to move into like the next question, which is a little bit different from what we've been discussing so far. So the next question is your view on CDF, right? Chin Defense Force. In Myanmar, I think generally speaking, it's called PDF, but with our Chin people, especially with this new youth movement, what are your opinions or what are your view on these?
Yeah, sure. I think, just like everyone else in the whole country, it's a battle that has to be fought. So there's nothing much that I can say about it. Just, to say that it's good that you guys are doing the work that you're doing to support them and just to once and for all, overturn this military coup.
Afoy nakin chimatunti amani ro nakachun himituk CDF te movement kan to mi thakauti I kan ra kan te nakachun kan ramdi lakti kan tanti how ding kan achim
ral dau liu se ha po ral dau chan se kan dau tha ka we te na kan nga ko lai te kan naw nu te kan lom tok tu cho angun kha ka vun som than ta le angun kan second song kan vun kan sak pek ta lai te na lom Ramlado taktakan ang sapyak sa kanilom tok angun so kanilom tok timika benchim kedu angun mailaya patchen ne ana ozai chuan pe chen lang mang kau se mailai zo khan kan som than te lai mo fa mo timite ka benchim kedu mi se akan zok min hakha ni dang zonga ka chimton ban to khan hakha kan fale CDF rakap kan menaw ha Rungtlang Authawng CDF tampi rakap na dom hina tan min ha pau ni chun hi kan show kan live here like tampi kan pack ya go share jong khar kan to ti mi kha chim ka du ka chim che ban to kan chon ni ni chon ni ni le zat tani kan dak to lai ma khan ngai khor ka zoom lamang video ti mi jong kan cha du ha tu zat tani ra lai ding hen special program team Florida ne chana kan man pyak lai Florida mi kan unaw na ne chana kan man pyak lai ma jun special guest kan somi he mi pi zong ne thai nan du ngai mi slai CNF chairman Puzing Chungkha ke telbe ding kan program kan somi kan tel pi lai tam pi rak ngai teo kan nu lai kha warong khan CNA la CDF akhat lo ka tir wang khan mi chinlong tam pia tu yeมาถ่ายจริงๆค่ะให้เราจนเฟียดหนักในตัวตีนอะไรที่มีน้องเขาเป็นเชมกระดูCNF chairman ผู้สิงจงรักแต่หลายจนถ้าสักเทียมโดดไหลเนียงหักขากันถ้าสักเทียมโดดไหลเนียงจงรักกันแต่ปีที่หลายจนตั้มปีเกสตั้มปีกันสมนาที่มีที่ข้ากันละก็ทองมันทันกระดูมีเสียจนตุนายตีขันภายซาให้การเห็นหักขา CDF จ้าบ่มนาก็ภายซารักรองมินหันเมเกไม่ได้มันมีกันเป็นเชมเก่าหลายสุรความีปูเจียวเลียนเตเจียวจุงเลียนไม่ใช่เจียวซีเลียนเคนตุกี้ดอลลาร์จังอาเป็นกันกวดกันล้อมตกปูเจียวนั่นแฟมิลี่นังมาปุ่มปานนั่นแฟมิลี่เทนนิสชวนชวนชิงเขาหน้าเสียจนโอไฮโอมีปูสโตนี่วันเบียกจุงเนี่ยทองคัดรักษาภายสันสันมีกันรักมูที่มีเดียเขาเป็นชิมกันดูกันล้อมตักเสียดอลลาร์ทองคัดเลยจังนั่นรักคุมมีกันหูที่มีที่เขาเป็นชิมกันดู tu le chu Christmas class phone ti phaisa zakat ti man sung loi tuk mi se chung khat nei chu mi kin silai mi chu lai tlang lai jong kun kan tu tha hi ka zonga phai sam han nak ding tam tok ma e hi kan pu cheu le hi kan pu sto ni ne nan phaisa thong khale zanga nan dak kan thut mi chu kan lom tak tak se patchen ne san tlai mi chwa ran man pe ko se ti mi de jong kha bun chim ku du mi se kan lom tak tak e atu cho pu de ni kha chan tlom pal ka bun impact ta bi lai Burma bill ko happy tlai ken nang man se har mi ka hallo mi ten ha kha uma chen nang man ra ka be pek lo nang ma kha chan toi te ka bun impact lai
usiang ke mama chana ka pek
se tunai ke ma ka hallo mi ka phel so mi na uma tia za pi thai ok tha mi mo
okay chen chenကျွန်တော်အနေငယ်မေးချင်တယ်အဲ့ဒီ Burma bill ကို detail အနေနဲ့တစ်ခါတော့ကျွန်တော်ဖတ်ခဲ့တယ်အဲ့မှာကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီ Burma bill ကို pass ခဲ့လို့ရှင်အခုကျွန်တော်မြန်မာနိုင်ငံကအရန်ကိုတိုင်းဒေသတွေမှာဒီစစ်ပွဲတွေဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက်ကြောင့် refugee နဲ့ IDPs တွေတအားများတယ်အဲ့ဒီ IDP humanitarian aid မှာကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီ Burma bill ကိုကျွန်တော် pass သွားလို့ရှင်အဲ့ဒီတိုင်းဒေသတွေကိုညီညီမျှမျှနဲ့ပေါ့နော်ကျွန်တော်တို့ effectively နဲ့ရောက်နိုင်အောင်ကျွန်တော်တို့အနေနဲ့ဘာအစီအစဉ်တွေရှိလဲပြီးလို့ရှင်တော့ဒီ USH အနေပြီးမှကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီအဲ့ဒီအရာကိုပေါ့နော်သူတို့ manage လုပ်မှာဘယ်သူကနေပြီးမှ manage လုပ်မှာလဲပြီးလို့ရှင် just to make sure တကယ်လူအပ်နေတဲ့လူတွေစီကိုဘယ်လိုရောက်အောင်ဘယ်သူကနေပြီးမှဦးစီးဦးဆောင်မှုပြုမလဲဆိုတာအနေငယ်ရှင်းပြပေးပါအောင်
Yeah, those are all really great questions, and that's also something that we will all have to figure out together once the bill passes. But for now, we're really focused on passing this bill so that the money at least can get in the hands of those who can disperse it on the ground. Right now, the idea is that probably USAID would be in charge of this, or USAID might put certain organizations that are capable of handling this money and give it to them so that they can disperse it to trusted civil society organization networks on the ground to then in turn just disperse it to the people in need on the ground. But yeah, the details regarding that are not really known yet. So it's something that we will have to wait and see and figure out together.
ကျေးဇူးတင်တယ်ပြီးလို့ရှိရင်ရောကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီ Burma bill ကိုဘယ်တော့ pass နိုင်မလဲဆိုတာဒီကျွန်တော်တို့အနေနဲ့ဒီ time frame ရှိလားSo by the end of 2022, or it could be in the middle of 2002.
Okay. So the Burma bill go just as soon as possible pass pitch in the that we met like the goal for ourselves that me and my friends have is like to pass it by March. If it's not by March, we don't know how long it will take because we even waited for this bill to come out since May, and it actually didn't get released until September this year. So that was a long while of waiting and having to push, ayan tunyare, and it's like boobs. So we always have to like be patient, but then at the same time also like be demanding so that they don't forget to pass this bill as soon as possible.
ဟုတ်ကဲ့ကျေးဇူးတင်တယ်ပြီးလို့ရှင်တခုကျွန်တော်မေးချင်တာပါလဲဆိုတော့ကျွန်တော်မြန်မာနိုင်ငံမှာအဖွဲ့အစည်းတွေနဲ့ကျွန်တော်အားလုံးရှိတယ်ဆိုတော့ကျန်အစကတည်းကနေပြီးမှဒီဟာကို advocate လုပ်တယ်ဆိုတာကျွန်တော်သိတယ်အားကြောင့်မလို့ကျွန်တော်ဒီအသင်းတော်เนาะ Churches ဒီBuddhist Association တွေလည်းအများကြီးရှိတယ်ဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒီကျွန်တော်မြန်မာပြည်ကနေလာတဲ့တိုင်းရင်းသားအဖွဲ့အစည်းအသင်းတော်ဖျားเจ้าတွေကနေပြီးမှဒီ bill မြန် passport ရအတွက်ကျွန်တော်ဘယ်လိုနီးလာအဖြစ်ကျွန်တော်ကိုညီပေးနိုင်မလဲအဲ့ဒါကိုဥပမာကျွန်တော်ဒီ North Carolina မှာဆိုဟိုတစ်ခေါက်တုန်းကSenator Tom Tillis ရဲ့ Senior Advisor နဲ့ကျွန်တော်တွေ့လိုက်တယ်ဆိုတော့အဲ့ဒီအရာမျိုးပုံစံမျိုးနဲ့တကယ်လို့များကျွန်တော်ခု state မှာရှိနေတဲ့ Senator တွေနဲ့ဒီ bill ကို push လုပ်ဖို့ရန်တွေ့ချင်လို့ရှင်တော့အခုလက်ရှိအဓိကပါဝင်လှုပ်ရှားနေတဲ့ Jen တို့အနေပြီးမှအဲ့ဒါကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီ arrangement လုပ်ပေးနိုင်မလား like meeting schedule တွေပါတယ်ယူပေးနိုင်မလား
Yes, that's exactly what our team has been doing. So we welcome anyone who's interested in joining us, coming to our trainings, or just getting in touch with us so that you can speak with your senator's offices. We scheduled a lot of meetings over the year, and we even met with over 70 Senate offices, I believe. So that's over 70% of the Senate. And we welcome anyone else who wants to, just talk with their senators, and anyone, especially in Republican states. That would be very helpful.
Uma to ku general tame chine ya eri ku 70% general the senator di go general reach out general lo pi to bi tro ko set twi pi to bi so ro bay state di mya ma pa te de state di ko jesu pyu pyo pe nai ma la general time dai ni ko share state di so no we can contact them we know we know each other so ro emma shi de phaya chang atin no ri ai lo myo ne reach out မလုပ်သေးတဲ့ senator တွေတီးလို့ရှင်ပေါ့နော်မှတ်မိလို့ရှင်တော့အဲ့ဒါနည်းနည်း share လုပ်ကြည့်ပါအောင်အဲ့နဲ့ကျွန်တော်တို့မှာအဲ့မှာဖះเจ้าတွေနော် Buddhist Association တွေရှိလို့ရှင်တို့ကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ contact လုပ်ပြီးမှအဲ့ဒီ state ရ senator တွေကိုကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီတွေ့ဖို့ရန်အတွက်ကျွန်တော်တို့ဒီအားပေးလို့ရတာပေါ့
Okay, so I just right now searched up on congress.gov all the people who are on there so far, and I see that there's a senator from Illinois who co-sponsored already, a senator from California, from Virginia, Oregon, Massachusetts, I think Nevada, Washington, Michigan, Minnesota, California again, Oregon, New Mexico, Vermont, New Hampshire, Michigan, Montana, Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania. So any states that I did not mention, they are not co-sponsors to the bill yet. So,
how about the Texas and Florida?
Yeah, Texas is not on yet. No, I don't see any North Carolina. So yeah, that's Myaji Apien Republican states they pinnated the bill co-sponsor yeah Myaji Apien is just Republicans, it seems like. So,
yeah, we will keep in touch. ပြီးလို့ရှင်ကျွန်တော်လူအပ်တဲ့ဟာတွေ maybe မှလေအဲ့လိုမျိုး Republican state ကမပါသေးတဲ့ဒီပြည်နယ်တွေကိုကျွန်တော်ဆက်သွယ်ပြီးမှကြမ်းကြမ်းတော့ကိုလည်းလူအပ်တဲ့ဟာရှိလို့ရှင်အကူကြီးကျွန်တော်တောင်းလိုက်မယ် thank you
okay,
so vielka kai ka haldu mi tusko
chen chen kha tu zana ke mani ka hallo mi chona tu nai sia dinin aban hallo mi kan mani hal kan phil mi ama ne mi pi za te share mi kha kan chimta selo ya
Hi Jen. So tonight we just want to ask you whatever questions for example Pasyang or Boy they forgot to ask you. Is there any additional comments that you would like to add? Is there any additional information you'd like to share to the public regarding anything?
Sure. I think so Uncle Basha actually mentioned to me before that the population of Chin in the US is estimated 70,000, and that's a lot. So if any of you guys, as many of you as possible can, start calling your senator's offices or coming to meetings with your senator offices, that would be super helpful and very powerful in pushing these senators to co-sponsor the Burma Act, because without pressure from you guys, they're never going to get anything done. So we really need that pressure. So yeah, just anything that we can do to work together, I think that would be powerful.
Okay, thank you very much, Jen. Yeah, at me too. Atunaya kan isyang ne kan Jen katimi too US at chin mi hi at trombik thong som street shong kan si te ma stikan thong som street ummi US ummi kan ma chin mi ni kan senator cheo state zebentuk state kan nak cheo kan pressure kan pek na cha kan kot na phone kan chot na kan chun atu Burma bill ati lamang mi hi atlantin khako lai ati ma cha chun mi pi kan mai mi pi lai mi kan se chewa chin mi ya kan bi pi tok tu mi de kha lang par tu zana mo.
Thank you. And one last thing I would like to also mention is to share US ACM's posts on social media. Share it with everyone your friends, your family, so that the word can also spread more. Thank you.
So natiri mi chu atu USACM and rian to naki hab mi pi ni hin thein de ha se ti kan du khan chun kan social media kin si kho cha an page hi rak share cheu ti mi kha tha jang an pek atu zekan tala an Facebook website te zong se Instagram se chun Twitter account na ka zetin da kan share ko lai ti mi pi ni the kan du khan chun boy nang ma zong ni kan ma link kharak at te lo tha lai.
So for about 2,000 people like your page, we need more people to like it, right?
Yes, please.
Jen, I will ask you a personal question, okay? When I say personal, Jen Kachin Lumyu Pite, so Jen and in a cool sheet told her yimale the Kachini Bepi Mimana machine PDF di Bepi now CDF di Bepi Aku Mimana ma or the Si Anna Shinsinicha Zombu and Loshani Leneka in general told her PDF net CDF your Piloshin KIA Leneka put CD your Jen in it Balloon le Apela Balloon lab Apela Gudine Apela Surahamio teaching.
Yeah. Well, I'll go ape amele. There's no way that you can't. So
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
that's the least you can do. I mean, I personally am not in favor of violence, but this is self-defense, and you have to, it's a battle that has to be fought again.
Sure.
So you can't go without fighting
Absolutely.
it. Yeah.
So what you have been doing so far to support the
I have
PDF,
been.
Kachin, and some other ethnic groups?
Oh, say that again. Sorry.
Oh, what you have been doing to support them?
Oh, what I have been doing? Well, from our Global Movement for Myanmar Democracy, my personal organization that I co-founded with 2 other friends, we have had, we've hosted a lot of fundraisers so far that have gone towards, civil disobedience movement and maybe PDF. I'm not too sure about that,
Sure.
but also like IDPs for sure, and refugees. So a lot of these websites, links, fundraisers are available on our own website as well at gmformd.org/fundraisers. So yeah, that's just my personal organization.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I think we cover a lot. So the Malo kay mane kalak te buntan ke tu mit sete lai min hanu le pan ha tu zana ngai mi building ha kha mina unak chon upade kan tammen la te lai mi cho biak in le rian long kan set te aleng le he zai man he ka zagen te lai kan keraton lo atu bentukin kan fanu ko bin som nak sulam kha zapi no nan thai chu mi se mai le chen en fa le ti kha ka fa ma kan tel ve to ma ka chen ti ve to ma ka chen kal ve to te bentuk kha nu le pan kan chim na how tu tan jong he tu kan fanu jen ne ama Facebook as se chun ama ne link tampi kha tlompal jong kan ma kan rin kwatin ha lai atu kan fanu jen he kan nu ne u mi si chong hak chilu te kan chim na lai min no te se ma ke ke kan nu ne hen anu le pa ko raman tlonga mi te se chun in party kan se ti mi kan se ka fanu thi te se ma ke asna te hi karama chomi bak se ko na te kan ram kha cha am bun chon te ka khan ram sia na kan nei an nei te khan atu ban ton he tia meno te sna te chol mi si ti mi te kha bun chim ke du hi karam pha ve ko tu mi nu le pa han fa le hi ban tok atu jan te thi si min ha kum thei de kum ku phong phang nei mi fanu fa pa na kha atu bentukin kan nak state jiwa lai chen kan ni he Republican state kan cha khan kan chol haw lai mi atu ta chun na ka Indiana na ke khripa bu a thong ne si cho minung thong li thong a pi he tan si to lo line up to lo nen senator zo kan mano nan push ko tok mi se ma cha khan khaban to ka dai thang lo ten te he bentuk chil ngan mi chil pi pa mi hen kan tal na kha tu zana tha kan som tha e tu zana hol akle pek tu si suin chong ka lom tok ibantukin chim chelo bakken last minute kan som natin ramcha se tu zan hol na kan le pyang mi mitam pinan nak zau ti khan thnem nak san chong kan lom tok mai le zong kan som lai chon angun zong na chong kan lom tok ti mi kha win chim ke du pathian thui chin lamang se ma kan atui kan live he dam te kan ko wa chen te na kan hu la lo kan to lai zat kha voi thung lamang he mai le khan chan khara than lamang lai mi tam pi kan lo la sak khau zong kan som than te ti mi kha win chim ke du chon sa suy na kan kan ho na hoi nu jen ka bin sim pya lo tu zan ai ban tukin ha kha rung amina hen chunte kan Rungtlang Authawng kan ti sana tin ha kha CDF support mi kan se kan ma chim ne kan som na kan tel pi cha kan lom tok mai le jong kan som than te lai ti mi te ha bin sim pya ta.
Hi, Jen. So on behalf of Upasyang, we just wanted to thank you especially on behalf of Hakha CDF for joining us today and also sharing with us what Burma Bill is and also sharing with us your insights and all the knowledge that you know. And thank you very much for doing that, first of all. And then second of all, in the future, we will definitely invite you again to join us in these discussions that will benefit our people. So once again, thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you for having me.
Tu zana kan ngai mi u dawn hanan za pi jong kan lom tok ti mi kha kan chim than ri ka du ko zartania live kan tuari lai tunai ka chimen tu ken Florida team Florida mi Hakha CDF rin tu dia kam tu pa tampin ting lai CNF chairman puzing chungara arkan talpi lai arkan ngai riu ting te kan som ha kan za pin mang tha u hi ka hin kan wol chang lai